Just finished up this problem and I've got one more little section to talk about. We're going to write down one more definition. Again, make sure you get all your definitions down. This is the definition of a function. Now I've already described what a function is back in all those other problems. However, this is the definition. So go ahead and write down a relation where each domain value is assigned to only one range value. So that's what I was talking about. There's only one arrow coming off of each x value. We're going to give the domain and range of the next few graphs, and we're going to tell whether or not it's a function. I'll use the vertical line test to do that. This first one, we're going to go ahead and find the domain. And remember, the domain is the x values. So I'm going to look on here at the x values. I've got -4, -3, -2. Oops, looks like I got off a little bit. So that's actually -3, and this is -5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So my domain would be from -5 to 5. Those are my x values. From -5 to 5. We'll go ahead and write that x is between those two. So we'll use that triple that we've talked about in chapter 3. It does include -5 and 5 because there is dots on both of those. Now the range is talking about my y values. So we're talking about these values right here. I'm going to list my smallest value first, so it goes from -5 to 5 also. Now it's really important that we don't put an x between these. Range is the y values, so we're going to put a y between them. And we'll use the less than symbols just like we did with our triples. The last thing we're going to say is whether or not it's a function. We'll draw vertical lines. See how the vertical line passes through two different points? That means it's not a function. Couple more. I'm going to look at my x values. Maybe I'll just highlight it this time. There are my x values. It starts at -3 and goes to 5. So my domain is from -3 to 5. And again, we're talking about those x values. They are equal to -3. I've got a dot right there. And they're equal to 5. So I'm going to use less than or equal to signs. My range, its lowest point is down here. That's -3. Its highest point is 2. So I'll write my range to be from -3, the lowest value, to the highest value of 2. And I'm going to put y between there again because remember range is y values. They are less than or equal to. The last one I have here. The domain is my x values. Well, the only x value that takes place is this one right here. So my domain is just 4. And I really should say x equals 4. I'll go ahead and put that at the end. You could just put 4 in there. Domain means x's. The range is from here down. Well, we should really say from 2 up to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's from 2 to 7. Y is between those two, so I need to say it's greater than or equal to 2. Notice it looks like a less than sign though. And then less than or equal to 7. So there's that Pythagorean triple again. Drawing in those vertical lines for the vertical line test, we can see that it's not a function because it doesn't pass the vertical line test. Excuse me. This last example I've got to go back to because I forgot to say whether or not it was a function. This is not a function as well because it's passing through two different points. Let me give you a quick example of what a function would look like. If I just draw a curve like this, notice how the vertical line test works. It only passes through each vertical line only passes through the graph at one point. Unlike these, where it passes through at 2 points. So this one would be considered a function.